Hello, and welcome to the very first video on the mBot course. Alright, I'd like to start by saying that my name is Victor Corona and I am a computer science student at Southern Connecticut State University, and that this project is dedicated for people who are beginners in programming, especially if you've never taken a course in programming or if you're a beginner and want to get into coding. This project is for you. I hope that by the end of this project you have learned one thing or two, especially if you're getting into coding. Alright, so once that is out of the way, I'd like to introduce to you the materials that we're going to be using for this project. So the first thing we have to talk about is the mBot, what it is, why did we pick this robot for this project. So the mBot, it is an educational robot that's designed so that people who have never programmed before can get introduced into concepts of computer science and STEM. Um, like I told you, you don't need to be super smart to follow this course. You don't need to know a lot of math to follow this course. This course is designed so that people can feel comfortable with computer science and get interested into these topics, since there's so many things that you can do with this. I hope you enjoy it. One thing that is special to mention about this robot is that the assembly process for it, it's not very long. It comes with instructions once you buy the kit. It There are also multiple videos, and I'm going to leave one in the description that you can follow to assemble your robot. It won't take you more than 20 minutes, and it comes with all the material that you need. Maybe you might need a small screwdriver, but nothing more than that. And another important thing about this is that this robot is compatible with two programming languages that are very simple, of which I'm going to talk in a little more. However, before we get talking into that, I'd like to mention to you about the things that come with this. So the mBot, this is what the mBot looks like before it is assembled, of course. I hope you don't feel worried with this diagram. I know it looks complicated, but you don't have to remember all the sensors that the mBot has for now. We're going to be exploring all those sensors as we go through the lessons. For now, though, I'm going to mention real quick that the mBot comes with a light sensor, which is to detect light, of course. Infrared sensor, which is to control your mBot using a remote control that comes with your kit. A button, a few buzzers, and your LED lights, of course. We also have these that need a little more detail, but we're going to explore that in a lesson afterwards. The ultrasonic sensor helps you detect objects that are in front of your mBot. I'm going to explain how this works and how we're going to be using them in a lesson, probably around 5 or 6. But don't worry for now how it works. All you need to know is that it has it. And a line follower sensor, of course. The line follower sensor, well, the name is self-explanatory. It allows the mBot to follow a line on the floor. It helps it to follow a certain path. So now that we have talked about that, I'd like to mention as well that this project is going to follow a book called A Gentle Introduction to Robotics. I'm going to leave as well a link for that, as well as a link to buy the mBot. If you want to explore this lessons a little more into detail, if you want to learn a little bit more about robotics or about STEM, I'd really recommend you to read this book. It's very useful, especially if you've never programmed before. And with that done, last thing I'd like to mention is how the languages that we're going to be using for this project. So the mBot is compatible with two languages. One is Python, the other one is Scratch. Python, it's a programming language that is used for more than just robotics. In fact, you can use Python to get into web development. You can use Python to do software development. It is a very, very easy language, and it could be a good next step for this project if you like it. However, in this project, we're going to be using Scratch. Scratch is a language that was developed by an MIT professor, and it's designed for children. It is designed to teach beginners how to code. It is a block-based language, so all you have to do with this is drag and drop flux into your workspace, and that is going to do the coding for you. I'm going to talk a little bit more of Scratch in our next video about the software that we're going to be using, but for now, All you need to know is that we're going to be using Scratch for this. So once all that is done, I'd like you to start assemble your mBot. I'm going to leave as well a video in the description about how to assemble your robot. It is not complicated. It should take probably around 20 minutes, and it's a very fun process. The mBot actually already comes with some programs integrated in the board that you can press a button and let the mBot run. So you can follow the instructions on your kit, or you can watch the video. Next video, we're going to talk about what tools you're going to need in your computer to work with the mBot.